right, let's start with Logan Roy, Brian Cox. This is right up his alley. I mean, Brian Cox has been a cock. He's been a bastard for a number of years in a number of roles. He's always been in charge of stuff. He was the king or whatever in Troy. Who was it when they were attacking? Who was that? The was it the Greek? The Greeks that were attacking Troy with Brad Pitt and the Eric guy who played the Hulk. If you don't know about Troy, I can't help you. But he tried to manipulate Brad Pitt, who was not Hercules, but Achilles, into helping him win this war to take down Troy. And he was underhanded in that. So it's right at home in what he does. He's cruel. It's all about the money and power. He's a billionaire, it seems. And once he recovers his health, the way that he runs over his kids is just something to watch. He even runs his wife off, Marcia Roy, his second wife, I believe. She had a prominent role in the first season and a half, and then he switches over and just takes a liking to Rhea, Holly Hunter, and runs his second wife off. And then what he does to Shiv is just downright just horrific as a parent. But as soon as he stabs one of them in the back or throws them under the bus, they're right back in there for something else, and he does something to make up for it, to mend fences and whatnot. Lastly, on him, it's a scene in season 2. There hasn't been a whole lot of interaction with Connor because he's outside. He doesn't work at the company. But when he starts his Connor has a girlfriend who was like an escort girl at one time, who writes this play. He funds the play. It's trash. All of the media pan it, and he's losing his shirt with this thing, trying to please his woman. So he goes to his father. This is the first ask of the entire show for him, and he's like, "Can you have your people, a couple of your major newspapers, can you have them write a positive review?" And Logan is like, "I don't lean on my people like that." When he's done everything under the book, in the book. But he tells him, I can't help you. I don't do stuff like that. And his son is like, "Give me a break." And what it boils down to is he tells him, "You know what? I'll give you $100 million in loan to get you out of the red with this play that you shouldn't even invested in." But he says, "But you gotta walk on the campaign, the presidential campaign." And the back and forth that they have in that moment just is how ruthless this dude is as a father. And he's like, "You're embarrassing me with this shit. Shut it down and move on." So that's Logan Roy. Jeremy Strong is Kendall. I know I've seen Strong in something else before, but he just plays such a puppy dog, like that needs to be encouraged. But he knows that it's impossible to please his father. And you can see him going through all these different changes over the 20 episodes of how that's impacted him, his confidence, his own sense of being a man and an adult. And then as he's gotten, his family kind of like disappears. He has 1 or 2 kids, and we see his wife in season 1. She kind of goes away completely, definitely by season 2. And he's all in. He's into cocaine. He's all over the place. He's a mess. But you keep rooting for him because he seems to really know what he's doing. And if he was able to make mistakes, fix them, correct them, and then learn from them, he probably could be a good leader. He knows the industry. He's a good communicator and can think on his feet, and quick-witted and whatnot and capable. But it's just impossible to please. It's almost like his father doesn't want to see him succeed. But like I said, when he comes back in in the season 2 finale and flips it on his dad at the last minute, he has that redeeming moment for himself. So we'll see what happens in season 3. Kieran Culkin, of course, that's Macaulay Culkin's brother. Phenomenal job by him. His character is like Roman Roy is a mess. Like I said, he was abused or something as a kid. He was bullied by Shiv and Kendall or something, and it's really hung with him throughout his life. Like I said, he's like he's a sexual deviant or something. He has 2 girlfriends over the 2 seasons, but he doesn't sleep with them. And then when he did try to break down and sleep with the one, he needed some really weird foreplay. It was something to behold. But the rambling that he does and like the frat boy totally inappropriate shit, his jokes, the whole way, the shtick that he has going on, he just nails it. If you really pay attention to it, it's really excellent acting. The show is Emmy Award winning and whatnot. It's at 97% on season 2. I think is 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. But Roman is the thing that's impressive with Roman is as he goes out on his own to do a couple of things to please his father, make some deals, close some deals. When they want to get some private funding to make the company no longer a publicly traded company because they need that. They need to, private companies don't have to report certain stuff. So when they had to go before Congress, it was like, it might be better for us to become a private company and then we don't have to open our books to certain stuff. I think that's the gist of that. And Roman really rises to the occasion and shows I'm not just a screw up and I'm not just this co-chief operating officer. His dad had him working alongside his longtime chief operating officer, Frank, who retired in season 1. And Roman really rises to the forefront at the end of season 2 and shows that he does actually care. And then he convinces us that he maybe could lead some things because he knows how to deal with people. And he knows how to not take everything so personal and roll with punches and different things. So he shows his strengths. Sarah Snook, the body. I just say that because somewhere like scene 6 or 7 or something, she turns to the side and shows off her curves. And my wife says, damn, she's got a big ass. And I was thinking in my head simultaneously, I'm like, damn, she has a nice ass. I mean, there used to be a video girl named Buffy the Body. I'm referring to Sarah Snook as Shiv the Body. Shiv is her nonverbal acting and her facial expressions and being the only girl and I believe the middle child too. She just nails it. And then they're all entitled. They're rich kids. They never had a want in their life except for wanting to be treated like decent human beings by their fathers. But she's confident, and then she knows her stuff, but she's just not trained. I mean, she just didn't come up with the company, so there were issues with bringing her in and announcing her as CEO. But once she gets screwed by her father, after being offered a job out of nowhere, she has to rebound from that. And then at the same time, her marriage to Tom, who's an executive with the company, they have a really excellent scene in season 2. That's part of what's brilliant about the show. Is this all of this bombast and all of this insane, wild, over the top, outlandish stuff? But then the writing, when they need to actually talk about the business, and then the way that they switch to serious matters. It's a drama comedy is what the genre is. But the way that it does that is interesting. But Sarah and Tom have this discussion when Tom was on the chopping block or in the guillotine to be the sacrifice, because he was the VP or the manager of parks and cruises, and they thought it was going to be him. He starts losing it. He got grilled in front of Congress when they were called. They really dug in on him, and he wasn't prepared for it. But he has this conversation. Shiv actually told him on their wedding night that she wanted to have an open marriage. And even though he's a guy, he really was not looking. He was thinking this was going to be a traditional marriage. And Shiv has another political strategist from a candidate that she goes to work for. She had a thing with him, and they do some stuff during the engagement period of her relationship with Tom. And they just really have this nice, this well-acted heart-to-heart. And he's like, and Tom is a goofy guy, but he tries to play hard because he needs to be hard as a member of this family. But it's not really in his nature. And he's from the Midwest. He's from like Minnesota or something. So, but he tells her, he's like, it might be sad leaving you, but it might be sad for me trying to stay with you. And he actually has this moment when he goes back after they had that conversation. He goes and confronts Logan in this very weird way and takes some food off of Logan's plate and eats some of it and puts it back. And then there's this quick cutaway to something, and Logan is like, he ate my fucking chicken. You got to see it. But the humor, the transitions to the humor and the BS to the drama is just well done. But Sarah Snook, yeah, her nonverbal acting and just being this. Of course, she's another one. Since she's the female, she has to prove that she can be a killer, basically. I'm not gonna do anything with Connor. He's like over the top, romantic, wannabe, important guy. In season 1, he handled this annual fundraiser or charitable dinner that they do, and he's an interesting character. Like I mentioned, Nicholas Braun as Greg. Greg is kind of similar to Roman. That I really want to see an interview of him to hear him talk normal, because Greg is very unassuming. He's new to this power. He comes in. His grandfather, his grandfather, Logan's brother. So that's Logan's great nephew, I think. His grandfather has left him like $250 million, but his grandfather hates Logan, and he hates what Logan has become. He despises him. He just has like a board. He's a board member, and he gets money from the situation, but he wants nothing to do with the family. But Greg he seems to be an idiot, but he's not. And his dialogue is just, it's a weird conundrum to be like, to think he's dumb and unassuming, but he really is, because he actually is sent to go burn all the documents that span season 1 and 2, the cruise line documents. Tom gave that job to him, and he knew he was getting screwed, so of course he took some of the documents and held on to them so he could leverage them for whatever, to his benefit. But his they do a lot where they say their thoughts out loud and then try to clean it up, but it's in the room now, and he just does a masterful job at doing that over and over and over and over again. He befriends Kendall and starts buying Kendall's cocaine. He's the gopher basically, but he actually towards the end he starts learning the game. And then Tom, like I said, the husband, he's an outsider, but he's in it, and it's interesting watching his character along the way. And I think that's pretty much the major ones that I wanted to hit on and why I'm interested in this show. Will Ferrell, I just see those. Will Ferrell is an executive producer. I see that. So that's about that. The creator is Jesse Armstrong. He's also the executive producer. Adam McKay is an executive producer. I've seen his name before in some other comedy dramas and whatnot. So it's in good hands. Like I said, I just want to see what happens for Sanaa Lathan, what kind of role they carve out for her. If she becomes some kind of player the way that Holly Hunter did. Holly Hunter's character came out of nowhere and had like a 4.5 episode run where she was a major player. So I'm wondering if Sanaa Lathan can kind of as a lawyer, I don't know, maybe she's with whatever is going on with what Kendall is, this uprising that I imagine he'll be leading in season 3. We'll see if she has a role in that. So again, sorry this one ran a little long. Again, it's 2 seasons to try to recap. But I think you will enjoy these characters if you like, what do they call it? Prestige TV. The important series that have a lot of investment in them and whatnot, big budgets and big character, big names attached to it. I think it's called Prestige TV. And this is one of the better shows out there. So again, if let me hear your thoughts on it. Pay me no mind. Sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.